Ableton Live gives you endless possibilities when it comes to creating music with virtual instruments. In this video, we load up synths, record MIDI notes and shape your first melodic ideas. My name is Thomas Foster and I'll show you exactly how to work with MIDI in Ableton Live 12. The full playlist with all the episodes is in the description below. Good to have you here. Let's go!
Welcome to Thomas Foster Music Production.
Before we dive in, artificial intelligence has radically changed my workflow as a music producer in the past few months. I use AI to assist with composing, songwriting, arranging, sound design, vocal generation, choir creation, mixing and mastering. If you want to stay ahead as a music producer in the coming years, you can't ignore this trend. My book, Artificial Intelligence in Music and Audio Production, Shaping the Sound of Tomorrow, gives you a clear and compact overview of all the AI tools that can take your production to the next level. My name is Thomas Foster. Thank you for watching. Always stay creative and get the book now on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. After loading Ableton Live 11, it should look like this. And let's go from the session view here to the arrangement view by clicking this little button here on the right. Okay, you also can do this with the tabulator key. That's a little bit faster. The first thing we want to do is we want to give a limiter at the master channel. That's where all the music comes together. So we go to Audio Effects, Dynamics, and we take the limiter and place it on the master track. The limiter takes care that we don't have distortion on the master channel. We already made a first beat in the first episode of this series. So now we go the fast way. We use an existing beat. We simply go to MUGENT.com. If you don't know MUGENT, that's a web page. I'm involved in this project and you can download here amazing great loops and samples for free, and this is legal, so you can use them for your production and upload your production using these elements on Spotify and iTunes. So in this case we just want to search for a beat, so we use this first menu to go for beats. Let's listen to this one here. Alright, sounds great, but I have another genre in my mind. Maybe we try something like reggaeton. Okay, let's listen to this one. Pretty cool. There's the Spanish beat. There's a little bit faster version. Yes, I like this one here. The Spanish beat without the tambourine with 100 BPM. So we simply click here, free download. Here it is in our download folder, and now we move it on an audio track. Let's take care that we have the right beats per minute. This is 100 beats per minute, so we simply say here 100 beats per minute. Let's listen. Sounds good. We make this the first track, so I click on the track and move it up. Let's say rename, so Control R or Command R to say drums. Let's make this green by right clicking here on this field. Go here to green, and also this one here should be green. It's always good to have your own color code, that you have all the drums in green, all the keyboards in blue. So if you open an old song, you immediately see where are the drums, where are the keys, etc., etc. Okay, we have our drums. Now let's load another sound. If you open the browser, you have here all your instruments, the sampler and all the synthesizers. And you have here another category called sounds. All these sounds are using this instrument. So if you load one of these sounds, you will definitely load one of these instruments, and in this instrument you will load this sound. I'm searching for a bass, so let's click here on bass to open this bass. You can simply click on the sounds to hear them. If you don't hear them, take care that you click here on the headphone. The headphone should be blue. Then you hear all the sounds. Which one could we take? Oh yeah, this is very nice. Let's load this on a new track, on the second MIDI track. You also can, if you don't have a MIDI track, there are two possibilities. Number one, you create a MIDI track here with insert MIDI track. Or number two, you simply move your bass sound here where there's nothing and you automatically create a new track. I could play this now over my keyboard, but if you don't have a keyboard, I show you now how to enter some notes via mouse. First of all, bass I would like to make brown. Let's call it bass. And let's make an empty click over 4 bars. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And with Shift Command M or Shift Control M, we create an empty MIDI click, what you also can do by right clicking here. Good. Let's double click it. Now we are here in the piano roll. Take care that you see the 16th. Maybe we zoom in a little bit to see the first bar. And which note do we want to hear? Yeah, maybe we start on this E here. Let's also zoom in here in this area. We move to the right while down holding the key. Yeah, maybe we make it a little bit longer, 2/16. One more time, take care that you see here 16ths. If you don't see this, you simply right click here and go here to 16ths. Okay. Now I want to hear this bass note all 3/16. So I select this bass note. It's blue now. And now I say Command D or Control D to duplicate it. Now we have another 8th note. And now I don't like this. So let's move the second note one to the right. I do this by right clicking the right arrow. And again, we duplicate it, move it to the right. You also could do this with the mouse, but I think you are much faster if you know the short keys to do this, right? And let's make one more. Maybe this is too complicated. Let's move it one more to the right. I like that. Let's try it here. It's a little bit relaxed. Maybe we stay with this in the moment. And now we copy this whole phrase, the whole bar. I select it from the beginning to the end. And duplicate it again with Control D or Command D. Now we want to have another note, because in every new bar I would like to have a new chord. So which chord, which note is cool now? There's a new feature in Ableton that helps you with that, and that's the scale. We made a E, so let's activate the scale, and maybe we need a scale in E. So we go to E, and now you see in the color all the notes of this scale, and in gray all the notes that are not part of this scale. It's not a must to be on the notes that are part of the scale. Sometimes it's useful to use another note, but in 80% of the times it's useful to be on the scale, so it's very useful to see the scale. You see it even better if you use this button here to hide all the gray notes. So if I click this here, I see just the notes that are part of the scale. At the moment, let's take a look again to all notes. At the moment, we are in E major. E major is very happy. If you make a happy pop song, maybe then major is cool. If you want to make a sad song or a more cool song, maybe minor is better. I would like to change to minor, and let's listen. Oh no, let's first activate scale. And now let's move to another note. Maybe we go up one note. Down, sorry. Basically, every note is cool. I like that one. I like that one very much. That's the A. Let's duplicate it again and we go back, yeah, maybe here. Very nice. Let's duplicate it again and go down again. It's about this one. Absolutely possible. What's about this one? I prefer that one. If you take a look now to the limiter, it's already working a lot. And especially if we will add more instruments, that's too much. So let's go down with the drums to -3, and the bass we bring in slowly from 0. So we totally go down here with the volume and bring it in slowly while listening. -8 looks good for me at the moment. As next instrument, I would like to bring in some kind of marimba. So a fast way is to search here for marimba. Let's open the menu Mallets and that's okay. I think this sounds a little bit better. If you don't have exactly the same sounds, you know there are different versions of Ableton Live. I try to use sounds where I think that you should have it. Doesn't matter which version you have. But if you don't have it, try to find another sound that sounds close. So let's take the marimba. Don't drop it into the bass area, otherwise you will replace the bass. We want to make a new track, so I place it here at the empty area to create a new track. And here's our marimba sound. Now with by holding down the Option or Alt key, I copy the bass line to the marimba line. Let's make it blue to understand that this is another track. All right, let's go to solo to just listen to marimba. We double click it. I think that's too low. So what we can do is bring all these notes 1 octave up. You can do this with holding down the Shift key and clicking the arrow up button. And now I show you a very special trick. If you don't play an instrument and you new to harmonic composing, music theory, then you will love this trick because it's so simple. Remember, we clicked here on scale to just see the notes that are part of E minor of our scale here. And now we copy everything 2 notes up. And again 2 notes up. And that's a chord that we made. That's basically a chord. You have a 3rd and a 5th on top of the bass note. And that's what a chord is. The only difference in our chords is that sometimes it's major and sometimes it's minor. The difference is that the middle note is sometimes a small 3rd and sometimes a big 3rd. As we are in the scale, Ableton already made this a big 3rd and here a small 3rd. Here also a small 3rd and here a big third. You see the difference if we click again on scale to see again every note. Then you realize here are 2 empty notes between because it's minor. Here also. And here are 3 empty notes because it's major. Most of the time, if you use the notes that are part of the scale, everything is cool and you can be happy and your chords will sound perfectly. But especially this A chord, I would hear different. Listen again. So at the moment it's minor and I don't like it so much. So I activate the middle note, bring it 1 note up so we have 3 empty spaces between. All right. Now you see this note extra because it's part of our arrangement. Very nice. Now we can change something because sometimes in music theory it's not so nice to jump around so much. So what we can do, we select all the lowest notes and with shift arrow up we bring them 1 octave up. Now the difference between the first chord and the second is not so big anymore. Oh, that's nice. And it's very easy. You also could say, I don't want to have the higher notes. So you select the highest notes and shift arrow down. Also nice. You see, everything is possible, but everything sounds a little bit different. I liked it very much if we moved the lowest notes up 1 octave. All right. Let's listen to everything. I click on solo. Great. I would like to hear more space on the marimba. It should be more in the background. So let's go to audio effects. We don't have audio effects. Why is that? I can tell you because we already still have here the text search. So let's click here to see everything again. Here are our audio effects. And now we take time and space and we load the hybrid reverb. That's a nice reverb. Let's listen to this. Sounds good. If you want to change the sound, for sure you can do this by moving these knobs or you can click through the presets. That's something you can do in every instrument or in effect in Ableton Live. You click here this little round button, the second from the right side. Then it's orange. And then you see in your browser the presets that you have. Let's check out the key Pastille. I double click it. Now it's loaded here. And I like it very much. Here with the dry wet, you can say how much reverb you would like to have. This is no effect, this is just the effect. Let's make it 30%, that's nice. Let's bring down the volume. That's enough. Next is instrument I would like to have is a pad. So let's go to sounds. Let's close the bass. Let's open the pad and let's listen to some of these pads. This one is nice. Let's try that. Okay, we take it, we place it on this track. So one way to get some chords here would be to copy the marimbas and erase all these notes. Just stay with the first one and then use the legato feature to make every note until the next note. Legato and now. Yeah, this would be a possibility. But sometimes it's nicer if you have just one note instead of a chord. So let's erase everything. I just keep the E. Let's check it out 1 octave lower, shift, arrow down. That's nice. Now we could go to the next chord, which is an A. Absolutely okay. Sometimes it's nicer to keep a note. Ah, that's beautiful. And it's working because, what is not a must, but in this case, it sounds nice because the E is part of our first chord and also part of our second chord. That's why it's totally okay to keep this note here on the second chord. Let's duplicate it. That's not good. Let's go down to D, because the second chord is here D major. This here is a little bit special, but I think it's okay. Let's stay with this and check out the volume. Before we check the volume, maybe the sound is a little bit too bright, too fat. So what can we do? We can use a filter. We go to Audio Effects, we go to EQ and Filters, and we double click the EQ3. What is a kind of a DJ EQ? I also double click the EQ8 just to show you our frequencies. So that's how the frequencies of our sounds look. The lowest frequency is somewhere here, and here are the higher frequencies. That's basically our sound spectrum. Now we can bring down the volume of the low gain and check out what is happening here with the low frequencies. So maybe we don't bring it down totally, but -15 is cool. We don't need this EQ8. I select it and erase it with the backspace key. But, you know, if you listen alone to the sound, you could say, it sounds much better because it's more full, right? It's brighter, that's cool. But in the mix sometimes it's better to have it a little bit thinner. And why is that? The more space you have for your bass at the low part of your frequencies, the more the bass gets power because it has more space to exist. So that's why it's sometimes good to keep some other frequencies a little bit smaller and thinner. Let's bring in the pad very slowly from -infinity. What we could do, let's go again up with the volume. We could add some reverb also on this track. So why don't we here use the hybrid reverb again. In the next video, I'll show you how to create a melody for this track. And for this, we will use a new feature of Ableton Live, and that's the note expression. Oh, that's pretty cool. You will love it. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any further tutorial for Ableton Live 11. In the background, you see my live performance of the song Roses of St. John. If you want to see the full performance, you'll find the link in the description. Thanks for watching. Always stay creative. Cheers.